you want to
You're like-
do with that.
I know, but.
This is Senate Transportation, and we're resuming our testimony, and we have Caleb Grant from the Public Transit Agencies Association, and you're on.
Thank you. For the record, Caleb Grant from Rural Community Transportation, Chair of the Vermont Public Transportation Association. Today addressing a $800,000 request in the Budget Adjustment Act to address losses from the Medicaid NEMT or non-emergent medical transportation through DEVA for budget year 2025. Just as a reminder, we are on year 5 of a 3-year contract that we responded to an RFP with DEVA in 2021. So you can imagine how much has changed in that time period. The legislature does have a track record of intervening to address losses with the NEMT program, including 2023 and 2024. Last year, we were optimistic and tracking well, but trips increased significantly through the remainder of the year. So we did experience pretty significant losses. Typically, when transportation agencies face losses in the Medicaid program, we go to cash reserves. The way the NEMT program works, it is a per member per week distribution, but that doesn't account for the number of trips or the cost of those trips. So there is a track record. We were optimistic in 2025 and did not seek an adjustment in the Budget Adjustment Act. This is to kind of rectify those losses, and it would be a $800,000 BAA line that would go directly to DEVA, and then they would utilize increased payments to distribute that to the public transportation providers. There is language in the House version. There is a slight revision that came through Senate Appropriations yesterday, which did a slight adjustment to the language, change it from supplemental to increased payments. That's really semantic and really just speaks to the mechanism by which this would be distributed. But I'm happy to answer any questions. But just a reminder, this is under the DEVA program as opposed to a VTrans program. So VPTA is the current contract holder for the NEMT program.
Go ahead.
So the $800,000 is good for you to get, and it meets your full deficit.
So the $800,000 addresses our 2025 deficit. Yeah. We do have projections on 26. We remain optimistic. Historically, members of the Senate Transportation or Finance Committee have put in incremental increases to address future shortfalls, whether that wanted to be addressed. But at this time, we're just seeking those $800,000, which are realized losses for 2025, which we are currently just carrying by diminished cash reserves.
Well, I'm personally very supportive of this being in the House BAA version, and I don't know these three. This is the group. This is the conversation for your other room, but
right. But
so I don't want to.
I would just say that there has been no attempt to, but I thought that we should be able to stand up on the floor and say there's an update, so everybody on our committee would, because we've spent quite a lot of time on and will continue to.
And I'm supportive.
Yep.
Yeah.
But this is just to give the update.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Good.
Could you talk about the little tweak we did down the hall? I don't recall. Maybe I stepped out of it, but I don't recall it. Was it in, you said appropriations. Was it in finance that the Senate?
No.
It was from
we had a tweak of the language.
It was a tweak of the language. This just spoke specifically to, it was part of a larger tweaking of the bill, and this just spoke to our part specifically. And if you see the language adjustment, it just changes supplemental to increase.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Which was meaningful for someone. So
Yes, it was.
I think didn't that come from finance?
It did. Yes, sir.
And so when
That's the way we got
aggression was in it, and he had the list of things that he went through on the, so I can see where you might have missed it when he did his list.
And it speaks specifically to the mechanism by which TIVA can ensure that the VPTA members receive those funds.
Perfect. Thank you
Thank you.
for the
Thank you.
update.
Much appreciated, and thank you for your support.
You'll be back.
Looking forward.
I don't know how you get your job done. You're here every day.
Well, the benefit of our expansive service territory is that I go down to Montpelier and then I immediately either go to St. Albans or Morrisville. Typically I don't follow the Newport location up with a trip to Montpelier, but it does give me an excuse to get
Marshall's
out.
kind of the
That's great.
center of the universe.
You know, I find that increasingly every day. Thank you.
We are about 5 minutes early, but where's your commissioner?
He just stepped out for a brief moment.
So if he was here, we put him in the chair and we'd get going. Could you grab his please?
Speak.
No,
No, wait.
we're a little ahead, but I figure we might as well keep going because we, as a committee, need to take a break at 11 for about 15 minutes.
Absolutely. Jump in.
And you're here,
So section 18.
yeah, section 18.
I don't understand.
So we've had some update language, and I know last time there was concerns on the I guess legality or just having our council come in and chat, and I want to make sure Matt Nesto, Captain Nesto comes in as well. So this is, we're not really trying to go outside any normal parameters. This is a lot like when we suspend the hours of service. When we suspend the hours of service for trucks that go across New Hampshire to haul salt for the propane trucks. It's the same declaration that is assigned to the commissioner of DMV from the governor's office to make those determinations. So this is following that same kind of rubric, if you will. We still would work in concert with FMCSA, who, when we do these declarations, are notified, and if they have line items that have to go in or anything or changes, we do work with them behind the scenes before these are immediately issued. So it's not stepping out of bounds of any federal regulations on this. So I know that was a concern the last time when we were in here, but the two more experts on this are here. Do you have any questions?
Please.
Want you to know that we in the last 48 hours have imported more chairs into the because somebody was stealing our things, and at least we've got seats for both of you, which is good.
I appreciate the chairs without the arms on.
Well, we've had a terrible time keeping chairs. We get chairs in the room and they seem to migrate someplace. So
Corporations.
you can both give your name and
So good morning, members of the committee, Chair Westman. I'm Evangeline James. I'm an Assistant Attorney General for the Department of Motor Vehicles, and I need to, as a caveat, warn you and remind you that the Attorney General's office has no position on the DMV miscellaneous bill in the language I'm discussing here today.
Good morning, Senators. My name is Matt Finesto. I'm the Chief of Safety for the Department of Motor Vehicles.
So the commissioner asked that we take a look at the language that was originally submitted. We've made some changes to the language to provide a little more authority to make all of you more comfortable. And we are relying on 49 CFR 390.5 for some of that language. Would you like me to?
Oh, no, I was just gonna say, is this on our website already, the suggested language?
No, it is not.
Oh,
Do you have the language that you could share or?
I can read it to you. I apologize. I didn't bring enough. I didn't bring copies.
well, we can have.
If you could explain what it does and
Sure.
give us a little.
Okay, so what we did was we went back and looked at the definition of emergency in 49 CFR 390.5. And we also looked at the definition of a direct assistance when individuals are providing assistance during an emergency. And we also looked at an emergency condition requiring immediate response and revised the language to allow, well, I'd like to read it. Is that okay? So the language right now, as we are proposing, reads for subsection D, section 4107. The provisions of this section during a weather emergency as defined in 49 CFR 390.5 or an emergency condition requiring immediate response, also pursuant to 49 CFR 390.5, a declaration issued by the governor or the governor's appointed representative, an employee of a state agency or a Vermont municipality providing direct assistance as defined by 49 CFR 390.5 may specifically, if specifically set forth in the governor's emergency declaration, operate a motor vehicle with a weight of 26,001 pounds or more without being required to hold a commercial driver's license as long as the emergency is ongoing. Great. The language also does state that an individual operating a vehicle pursuant to the provisions of this subsection shall be required to hold a valid operator's license issued pursuant to Chapter 9 of this title or the applicable law of another state. So that is what we are proposing, and we can obviously get copies for all of you.
Go ahead.
Well, thank you. I think you definitely addressed, I mean, obviously, I want our legislative council to take a look and make sure that it aligns properly, but I like that you narrowed what a weather emergency is, because I think that was our main concern. But if perhaps I missed it, maybe it's just later on in your change. Do you still have to have a medical card?
So there are provisions where as long as the individual is operating in intra-state and they are exempt, they do not need to have the medical card. So
They went to New Hampshire with it.
that would be a problem.
I understand.
Also, governmental vehicles in general, like even our current V-Trans employees who drive plow trucks now just for regular maintenance, they're already exempt from needing medical requirements as part of the federal regulations. So the only time, like our council said, they would need it is if they were doing something that was not government work, outside the purview of government work.
Yeah, I actually didn't have strong feelings about the medical card piece. I think there was confusion in the committee about like who gets them in general, who already has them, and would this just be another barrier to someone in an emergency situation? So I can understand how you took it out.
And it's a very narrow bandwidth of just employees of state government or municipal government under these rare circumstances. And if, you know, in the federal regulations of 390.5, when you look at the definition of emergency, it's very clear that it's tornadoes, hurricanes. It lists out the many options that it could
Does it
be.
include like fire?
Fire, it does, yeah. And it makes it very clear it's for the purposes of preservation of life and property. So I can think that this would be used on, you know, a rare occasion, but we have seen, unfortunately, instances where that probably could have been used.
Every year on July 5th, this will be used. Just, I'm
Hey, Pat, and then
Does, if they were to take the trucks out to the interstate, does it bump up against federal law at all? Requirements?
It's the intended use at the moment of the vehicle in question. So, again, with, just like our current operating, principle of the interstate itself, there's sometimes this misnomer that being up on the interstate makes it interstate trip. And interstate in the definition of what we're referring to means from one state to another state, one country to another state. Interstate itself doesn't necessarily, unless we were to wish to put restrictions of our own, further restrictions, I don't think would be necessary.
So the CDL requirements are, even on a federal highway, are requirements. Well, they're federal,
They're federal requirements.
but so as long as they're not, that's my concern is if they're bumping up against any federal.
We can give testimony that on the interstate would be a problem, but you're saying that's not.
I don't know why the interstate would be a problem because the interstates and our regular state highways are treated equally the same now as they are. The difference of it's semantics of the term interstate commerce or interstate travel.
Yeah.
A lot of times, for example, we'll get folks that will come to us to say, I can't be up on the interstate because I don't have a medical certificate. And the answer to that is, well, you're not going from one state to another in interstate commerce. And that's where the misnomer comes.
go ahead.
Thank you. So thank you very much. And this is much more clear. And just want to confirm, I believe it said that the governor's actual declaration would include this authority for the state and for municipalities.
Well, the declaration would have to specify what it is and what is being waived.
Yes,
Yes.
yeah. And I
It
think
would
that's
have to clarify that.
right.
Yes.
And I think that's really important.
Mhm.
And so then we should just double check with VLCT.
Yeah, we'll come back. The LTC did raise the issue of that if someone moved this, that the insurance issue. And they did raise that. This doesn't address that, but we may not be able to get to everything in this, but they did raise that concern in addition. So we will check in with them too.
Thank you.
Thank you. We appreciate you helping us narrow this because we really wouldn't want, in the case of a fire or, I have a community in my district, Johnson, their fire department and their town clerk's office are in, have flooded in the last two big floods. And if somebody, it is trying to move a fire truck out of the way. I think we all agree that that's important.
Yes, yes,
Yeah.
Thank you.
absolutely. Thank you.
Thanks.
All right. That might be getting close on section 18.
I think that would.
Okay.
Or no, I'll have that either. I was hoping to do something.
Matthew,
We made Matt as usual.
The great name.
Yes.
yes, sir.
All right, Matt Russo, I'm Deputy Commissioner for DMV. And we are discussing K trucks, also known as Japanese mini trucks, which seems to be a hot topic.
Thank you.
Prior policy and procedure was that a Japanese mini truck would be inspected. If the customer had a valid inspection, it would present it at the time of registration and we would register the mini truck. That remained the same. Nothing has changed. I believe the miscommunication was one-off, maybe a couple here or there, with as far as getting it inspected. It's just like anything else. A large trailer that you make at home is going to be inspected before you can get a VIN and a registration. Same with a homemade vehicle or a street rod. The same goes for mini trucks, just like any other vehicle. The only difference is that you're getting it inspected first to verify that everything is in place and follows the inspection manual in order to get your registration. And that's the current policy.
No,
You go ahead.
Okay,
Go ahead.
well, thank you. I appreciate that. And while I also respect you saying it's a one-off, there is multiple people who've reached out just through the grapevine of hearing about this. So I do think there is a lack of uniformity of understanding this policy. So I've worked with our counsel, Damian Leonard, to draft language that reflects what we see in other states and also officially makes mini trucks something that we define in Vermont state statute. So very exciting. So I'm wondering, what is your receptiveness to having a clear set of guidance in our statutes on this topic?
Well, I think it would help. I think right now we've sent out communication to staff saying this is what was given to you prior for procedure and policy. That has not changed. This is what we require. It was bulleted in our employee bulletin, just to make sure that everybody's on the same page. That went out to all staff. There's nothing in statute that says that we can't do that. There's no reason why we can't register them. There's no reason why we can't inspect them. That remains unchanged. So as far as putting it into statute, I say we're neutral.
I would feel better if you could take your language and vet it with them outside of the room. And, and then if we can get you all in agreement about the language, then we'll bring it back to the committee and let the committee decide. But, from my vantage point, if you can all agree outside of the room, I think that would be great.
Yeah, I'll send Damian has language drafted, so I'll send it to.
That would be helpful.
Go ahead.
And I just wanted to make sure that there isn't an inspection problem. So I thought I heard from somebody that it wasn't at DMV to get a registry, it was at the inspection station. It couldn't have been emissions because they would meet the age requirement not to need emissions. So I don't know. And I don't think we don't require an airbag or inspection. So I don't know what it might have been, but just want to make sure.
There might have been other caveats. I'm not sure.
Yeah,
glass thickness for your windshield, for instance.
Right.
I'm not sure, but I'm sure there were other small. It was definitely not emissions.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
For sure.
So I don't know if your language addresses that, but I don't know, maybe we don't need to. Maybe it was just one inspection station I'd never seen and thought worried about inspecting it because it was like, well, this doesn't meet federal requirements, so should I inspect it?
That's fair.
And then also I wonder if there's any issue about always using the term Dia trucks because there are vans and even cars that meet this requirement. So I don't know.
Japanese mini truck is very narrow.
Right.
There are other K vehicles.
Right. Like, yeah, I know. I had like one of the little delivery vans.
Mhm.
So I don't know.
I'm gonna send it to everyone too, because there is a little, it's, the language is based off of, I believe, what they have in, I wanna say we went with Virginia, is what they had.
Do they use trucks?
They call them mini trucks.
So I don't know if we need, that's a question for Damien. If that's a term of art and it includes a van or a car.
I'm gonna send it to all of you, because it seems to be, mini trucks is defined pursuant to subdivision 89, and then it basically means a motor vehicle that is designed, used, or maintained primarily for the transportation of property that has four wheels, an engine displacement of 660 cc or less, an overall length of 130 inches. So I don't, you get what I'm saying? Like, could that be a van?
Sounds like
Maybe.
it.
Yeah.
Could be a golf cart.
Yes,
With that definition, it's something it could be.
it could be a lot of
More
things,
than
and it goes on to the size. So I do think we should have that discussion. Yeah.
It's it for transporting. That's the only part in there that I wonder why we needed that in there.
There are quite a few states that do register these vehicles with certain caveats. Not on a highway for some states,
Yes.
only in certain transports for some states. I was on the subcommittee for Navitas, so I do have quite a bit of background on this, especially from other states.
But you guys are recommending limiting the registration.
I think I think we need to do some more research on that. I know that there are mini trucks that can go up to 60 to 70 miles an hour.
Right. The one customer we got was like, I can go 70 miles an hour, but I don't really.
Right. Is it worth it? Can you actually go that? Is it safe? I don't know.
Having other big vehicles driving past you at 75 miles
Right.
an hour.
Yeah,
So I
my
think that we
language
can-
does limit it. It does limit it to 55 miles per hour. It does actually restrict some of it. So that's, yeah, I'm open to more permissive, but it also allows for the traffic committee to have have a decision on ordinances for municipalities. So, yeah, or legislative body of a municipality, so that some, I guess, places maybe have them.
Like municipalities.
Yeah, so
Yeah,
your select board could decide to limit their use as well. That's part of that, so.
so honestly, golf carts are a thing, and, I've been in situations where people wanna drive golf carts everywhere and use it for their regular transportation. Well, no, but on four-wheelers are a separate thing, and well, that has its own issues, but I think as specific as we can be is really important.
Yeah.
And there are some, I mean, we have to care about safety, right? That's our number one. So there are, vehicles that should not be on the interstate. And I would say golf carts should not be on the interstate. Hopefully, they're not allowed
Yeah,
right now.
Right,
But-
they're not.
they're not.
Okay, good.
These gas or electric, because we do register neighborhood electric vehicles,
Yeah,
which are the bigger electric golf carts. With restrictions, golf carts are not registered or not.
okay, but the electric golf carts
Yeah, whatever.
cannot go on
They
the
can also
interstate,
not go on
right?
the interstate,
Okay,
correct?
good. So,
Speaking of different vehicles, if you're in rural England and you're on the M roads and it's a trip when you see their tractors that are geared differently than ours. And there's a tractor, big, 160 horse tractor going 55. It's like, oh, look at that.
Yeah.
You're like,
yeah,
oh, where did?
Different set of rules.
It's our tractors are geared so they can't go much over 20 or 25 miles an hour. So they would, but the tractors in Britain are geared and it's like, wow, look at that.
pretty jealous.
It would be good to get some language that you could all agree on outside.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Particularly when you go on social media now, which I don't encourage anyone to get their information out from social media, but there is a bunch on social media that really is quite conflicting about whether you can register or not here.
We can clarify.
And if we can create less confusion, I think that's probably good.
Agreed.
That as long as we can all agree on the language.
And so I sent it to you. I don't have your email, but
Okay. I'll email you back. So you have.
I think at this point, Dan's not coming till 11:25. Is he?
11. Oh, no, 11:25, right
Yes.
before Logan, right? Yeah.
He,
I think
reachable?
him.
See if he's,
No, that was enough. Let me email him. He was pretty fast.
but in my plan will be at that, to take another 15 or 20 minutes and go up and, the treasurer's having that press conference on the migraine.
And that's what time, I'm sorry?
11.
That's it.
Okay, that's 11, okay.
Thank you, Senator.
Thank you.
Thank you. So it'd still be here, back here at 11:30.
Yes. Okay. Yep.
What we doing?
We have,
Logan.
I will tell you, I have a letter that I'm signing on behalf of the committee for Amtrak.
Good.
And,
It was in the news.
yeah, well, I
Was
wanted
it?
to
Yeah,
make
you were
sure,
telling it.
I wanted to make sure that Dan, before I sign it, because I haven't
Yeah.
signed it, but before I sign it, I wanted Dan to just give us a 2-minute, this is what it is.
Oh,
Sea Library, yeah.
Because I saw on the news that you and Matt had signed it, so I was like, oh, I wonder about that, but,
No, like, that's what it looks like.
oh, right.
It's not signed,
Okay.
but I wanted to, before I signed it on behalf of the committee, I wanted Dan to give you a 2-minute update.
Yes.
The library. Yeah, no,
The
good,
train guy.
because I was gonna sign one for them if, I didn't know that if we had time, so I'm really glad that
Yeah.
it's
Yeah,
much better to sign it for the committee.
If he
Well, some.
If he
trains,
can't
yeah,
come
they're
in the
really
next
fun.
10 minutes to do that, then it will be 11:20 that I'd like you back here.
Okay.
But if is he,
No, he was so fast earlier.
Where was he?
It was on BT Digger.
Cool.
But yes,
We're still,
they're gonna be, oh, you're still
What?
alive.
we're still.
Oh.
Yep. Great.
Fun.
Yeah.
Fine.
I'll talk trains. But they're saving 20 minutes is my understanding because they don't have to switch the engines and that, you know, if you've taken the Vermonter, there's this weird stop, I think in like New Haven.
Yeah, it's a
Yeah.
grant they've applied for,
Yeah.
and we're endorsing the grant.
I think that's,
And they talked about that in the.
yeah, it was in BT Digger. It said, yeah, Matt Walker and Rich Westman had said that they were going to sign on.
Good.
I'll send it to you because I was
Good.
excited to see
I
that.
think I said I was gonna get to draft the language to do it and that I would take it to the committee, but I don't really care as long as, because I haven't signed it yet.
Well, that's. I'll see if I can find it.
Yeah, I'll be able to find it. I'm on there. Better pictures.
Yes, both chairs, Rep. Matt Walker are it says big plan to send the letter as an act. Is how they word it.
And it hasn't been passed.
Yeah.
I do have the letter for Damien. Do you want me to post it?
Right.
Here.
Right.
Yeah, as soon
All
as we
right, you
hear
said
from
dinner,
Dan,
right? I'm on there.
after we hear from Dan, then post it.
Okay. I haven't heard back.
I'm on Digger.
It's go to final reading.
Oh, it's final reading.
It's the one with the cars with the hoods up.
Oh, that was something else.
Yeah, I'll send it to the committee.
Yeah, that was a different,
So,
He's here.
all right, Dan's coming.
Wednesday at 6:30. Right. From
so that was in the, oh yeah, the inspection. So I love the cars.
Are you there, Dan?
I didn't know that was about trains too. Oh, here we go.
Am I there? I think I am.
They drafted the letter for me to sign on behalf of the committee. Can you give us the 2-minute version of, what we're endorsing?
Sure, absolutely. So a couple of years ago, just the background, there was a federal grant that gave Amtrak a bunch of money to buy new rolling stock, new locomotives, new coaches, things like that. So basically that grant covered what was in place today for equipment. So basically 1-for-1 replacement. What Amtrak's trying to do now is they're trying to buy additional rolling stock to have in inventory as replacements. And also there are some services that are looking to expand in the next few years that would like to add to the rolling stock order. And that's what that is. So we kind of support that, but we don't want to fund it. So what we said was we'll support it, but we're not going to add any state match to that. If we ever needed some of that additional rolling stock in the future, we would negotiate the lease for that at that time.
So what enhancement of service would this allow for Amtrak?
Well, we don't have, so right now, Vermont doesn't have a need for that currently, but if we ever say wanted to extend the Valley Flyer into Vermont, at some point down the road, we may ask for more additional equipment because it would need more equipment for that service. If we wanted to add another say another Ethan Allen service, a second one, or another Vermonter service, a second one, we would need to negotiate that, but that would be the only reason Vermont would need it.
This would allow Vermont to consider in the future, if it was inappropriate, the ability to expand service.
Correct. Now, the other thing that Amtrak isn't saying out loud, but when all the existing equipment gets replaced, they're still going to have all the equipment we're using today. They're going to have spare equipment that if something broke down or whatever, they would still have some additional. They're not going to retire everything that they replace one for one. So there's a couple of options in the future. What if we want to do expanded service?
Okay, go ahead.
So my understanding, Dan, if perhaps I'm misinformed, is that we're gonna get the Aero train on the Vermonter potentially through this money. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Where you're gonna
Both-
get,
This particular grant doesn't change what we're already getting. That money is already in hand. Though the order has already been placed. We have replacement equipment coming for both the Ethan Allen and the Vermonter already. This grant that they're asking for now is additional federal dollars to buy additional equipment beyond what's in place now.
oh, okay, I understand. Okay, thank you.
Go ahead, Wendy.
So, I thought that we did have, I mean, I understand what you're saying, and I think it's an easy yes to support Amtrak in this effort, because we want them to be able to provide additional service when we need it. But relative to, and I don't think that the state needs to provide any funding now. But when we talk about future service, my understanding is that our current situation does, there are days when the train, there isn't capacity on the Vermonter, then there's other issues on the Ethan Allen. So I don't want folks to get the idea that we couldn't be helped by additional train sets, but I'm not advocating for that right now. But there are times that we could use the space, the capability.
Yeah, it's not, well, it's more rare than not. It's holiday weekends, things like that,
Yeah.
that we have capacity issues on a normal, calendar day. We don't have that problem. But again, I think freeing up existing rolling stock when the new rolling stock comes in, I think Amtrak's going to be able to, add a coach here or there, when the new stuff gets replaced using the existing stuff. The other thing I wanted to point out is the existing grant that we ordered, the original order, the 1-for-1 replacement, that was 100% federal dollars. This grant that Amtrak is applying for, that you're supporting, is an 80-20, 80% federal, 20% Amtrak. So there is match that Amtrak's going to have to put up for that rolling stock. I sort of argued with the committee on why wouldn't they go to the Hill and say, if this was this important, why wouldn't they go for the additional rolling stock at 100% grant? And they didn't do that. They're using an existing 80-20 NOFO that's out there now, but
It's interesting.
yeah.
Okay. I think we have enough, Dan. We appreciate the fact that you came early and
Yeah.
and it brought us up to date. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks.
At this point, I think if we were back here at 11:30, Logan will come in and we'll finish our morning then, but that gives us a chance to pop in to
Great.
listen to a license plate idea.
Yeah.
Can you take